Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are back in the thick of Disney versus Marvel villains, and I hope you're all interested by the first round. Rather intrigued. We are now on round 2, which was also remastered, and we're just going to dive right in here. So, Snow White is already dead by Grimhilda's hand. It becomes relevant later. Oh, and how does it? But anyway, runs into Electro. And Grimhilda is actually, well, I wouldn't call her, like, Loki, Doom, Maleficent, and Hades are obviously the big four of this tournament. What happens to Grimhilda is actually really interesting. Like, I'm trying to think of how I can build this up without spoiling it too much. And here we go. Lightning. Boulder. Nice job, Electro. And here we have, Loki giving orders to the Enchantress, and she's going to go try and take on Maleficent, which is, in my mind, an amazing matchup. Like, if you want to talk about classic villainesses, you know, the ones who speak in elegant tones and radiate awesomeness and intimidate those they stand before. I think that Maleficent is obviously the air example, not only for Disney, but for, like, all of villain kind, but I think Enchantress is probably the one from Marvel. I'm trying to think if there are any other Marvel villainesses who fit that description. None are coming to mind. Not really Mystique. Mystique has a lot going on. So the Executioner comes, gets Enchantress, takes her away, and a little bit of a rivalry is formed. There's a little bit of hatred going on there, and you can see GA, you know, he's got the more sophisticated Vegas-type editing down. So we can do things like put up TV screens like that. Anyway, Bill Sykes versus Kingpin and Shocker. Don't know much about Shocker other than the fact that he's apparently Jim Cummings, which automatically gets him brownie points in my book. I keep wanting to say I like trains for that one, but it's never really actually a train that defeats him. And Kingpin will actually become a running joke. The joke's not on Kingpin. So much of this will be more relevant when I get to it. I promise my commentary will get more interesting as the rounds go on, because, like, we're just sowing seeds here for what's going to become a more involved story. So, Red Skull versus the Queen of Hearts. Okay, so there's this thing about Red Skull that I consider him kind of a joke. Like, I know he's not. I know he's serious business. Like, GA himself, though, went on this big comparison, like, Red Skull and Loki. What did they do with the Tesseract? How did they enforce their will over other people? How did they execute their evil plan? And it's just like, Loki outdoes Red Skull on all fields. On all fields. And so I can't really, after that, I can't really see Red Skull as that big of a threat if you got him on the same playing field as guys like Loki. So, Scar and Zira versus Wendigo. Right away, we actually have Scar and Zira teaming up, which is an interesting move. A lot of tournaments will just introduce Scar solo and then put Zira in afterward. unfortunate. I haven't seen all the tournaments. I've seen 5. Used to be 3, now it's 5. But, oh, that is just brutal, the way she rakes her claws down his back. Zira's boss. There may be a tournament somewhere where Zira is introduced solo and then Scar, but I haven't found it yet. Okay, so, Demona versus the Brotherhood of Mutants. This is why it was a good thing that Round 2 is remastered, because this wasn't actually in the original Round 2. I know that much. Demona's attack upon them was what led Mystique to take them under her wing, sort of. And it's because of this that something really strange starts happening with Avalanche. And in the beginning we were just thrust in medias res into Avalanche's story. But now we kind of understand it more. Also, you'll notice a big difference between this and Disney versus non-Disney films is GA did not stick exclusively to using full-length animated movies in Part 1. He introduced some more obscure villains, like the television-based villains, right off the bat. Starting with Gargoyles specifically. Because, you know, he just wanted to, and he was a big fan of Gargoyles. And that actually made it more interesting, because then we had a bigger selection of not knowing who to expect the first time around. GA actually has this thing, this motto. He says that he's going to, and you have to picture me doing the Ali Brosh pose from Hyperbole and a Half. I'm stretching out my arms here. Include all the Gargoyles villains in this tournament. JAFAR is fighting Nicholas Scratch right now, by the way. I did not mention that earlier. And once again, you know, we've got people trying to shoot JAFAR, and it just glances right off him. Because JAFAR is ridiculously awesome. I'll give you the same speech, because JAFAR is JAFAR.
Jeez Louise, one chump after another. It's like a who's who of Decathlon disasters around here. All I need is one measly warrior tough enough to give Zeus a jolt of his own medicine. Wait. Dark, moody, powerful. Yes, he's perfect.
And this
hey,
starts
kid. Huh?
Avalanche's
Over here.
arc.
Come here.
G is also great with the sound bites. As you'll notice, putting Kingdom Hearts dialogue into the animated Hades, and using it to further Avalanche's storyline, which, if you knew what that dialogue began, you might be able to guess what's going to go on with Avalanche. So Frollo and Red Skull team up, and they start making the alliance of the most bigotry ever. Frollo describing that he escaped Dr. Doom's attack. How Doom didn't see that coming, I don't know. I mean, he was standing right in front of a wooden door. I think he might have, you know, had an out there, Doom. But the Frollo and Red Skull thing, that's gonna get hilariously taken up to 11. With, like, how politically incorrect and bigoted can this alliance be? The Hydra base. Oh, Grim Reaper and Baron Stricker think they are in charge, do they? Well, guess what? Nope! You are not in charge anymore. The base belongs to Doom. Loki's still gambiting. Loki's always gambiting. And basically, he's putting together a giant plan. There are many giant plans being put together over the course of this. We will see them all come to fruition in good time.